Race recap brought to you by our friends at Gutterworks. Make sure to check them out. Links in the description down below. Gutterworks gutters, always well hung, just like Justin Barsha. And we're going to talk about him tonight. So, all right. Well, Kickstart Kenny kickstarted my heart last night.
Oh, we're starting with 450s.
We are. 450 Race recap brought to you by Gutterworks. Not sure if you listened to me.
Well, I listened, but I feel like we'd never really start with that. So
we always start with 450s now.
Fuck, I guess I...
So anyway, the 450 class here, like I said. So Kenny pulled that off. Dude, that was incredible. And that crowd was electric for that last night.
I heard it on TV, and I was pretty jealous I wasn't there. So for you that was there, how... Was that one of the loudest races you've ever been to?
Had goosebumps. Had goosebumps. I don't know if it was the loudest race. That's hard to say. Let's see here, because I'm trying to think of some of the different ones I've been at. Maybe it was it was definitely the busiest. Like I said, one of the busiest I've ever been at. So
yeah, I was in St. Louis for Kenny's first win since the Arm, and that was pretty dang cool. Pretty loud. Everybody was stoked for him, obviously, but this one felt different. And even on TV, it was different, man. I don't know if it's just because of the Suzuki, how terrible he's been doing, and then comes out and wins, riding with pressure the whole way. It was a great win.
Everybody in industry seating was freaking out. And there were a couple HEP guys sitting up there. I think it was Chiz's dad and somebody else were sitting up there too, and everybody was patting him on the back, congratulating them, and seeing Kenny just come around, put that bike down, kneel down, pat on it.
He set the bike down nice and gently.
He didn't throw it down, but yeah, it was, like I said, I'm getting some goosebumps talking about it now. It definitely gave me goosebumps being in the stadium there, watching that happen and seeing his reaction. Like, that meant a lot to him.
Yeah.
That was a big deal. Big deal.
Big deal for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Not only Kenny, the team, Suzuki.
Did you see the Dustin? Have you seen that Supercross Feld, whatever you want to call it, is now doing a post-race interview show with people?
Yeah. They're trying to basically cancel all the media out, basically.
It's interesting. That's for. I'm not going to go down this road.
Yeah. I wonder how other media outlets are feeling about that.
I don't know. Maybe I'll talk to some next weekend.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that can be an opener. Like, hey, how do you guys feel about this?
Yeah. So.
But yeah, back to Kenny. Like, that. Oh, wow, got a little burp going. Shouldn't have drank a Mountain Dew. But I think that win ranks up with one of the feelings I had watching Reed win A2 when he chased down Stewart in 2014. It had a lot of that similar feeling to me. Everybody kind of doubted Kenny. It was writing him off. Like, why are you riding a Suzuki? And it was cool, man. Now, let me ask you this. So I watched a Roxon interview that Vidal did.
Okay.
Mr. Jamie. Did with Kenny. And Kenny was like, yeah, like, even people that I don't necessarily like were riding up and congratulating me. And on TV, the only two people I seen that maybe he didn't like that rode up and congratulated were probably Anderson and Barsha. So who else rode up?
I didn't really see any, but I saw AC hug him when we were there. I didn't see any of the other people until I was watching something this morning. And then I also thought it was not Barsha. Barsha, I was like, him and Kenny have had their run-ins, but they've always
kind of had a mutual respect, maybe,
I want to say.
Yeah.
But the Anderson thing was weird. Anderson was really, because I'm like, dude, I didn't even know you and Anderson were cool. Not cool. Boys or whatever, to like the point. And it's like, Anderson was not in that fight last night.
No.
So.
Like, he's the only guy that rode up, and then I heard Kenny say that, and it was like, oh, I guess, yeah, they don't like each other, but I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought that was interesting.
It definitely was. Like I said, when I watched that, I was like, I don't really know that Anderson.
Who else rolled up? Because I saw Chiz. They're boys. Yeah, so AC boys.
I think Shane came up too, but they're on the same team. Yeah. So those were the only two. Barsha and Ando were the only two that I've seen video of rolling up. And again, in person, I didn't see anybody but AC. I saw him and AC hugging because they did that right before I went down the stairs and was trying to get downstairs. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I thought that was interesting.
But everybody was pumped.
Yeah.
Everybody was pumped.
How about the podium interview? You get to watch that at all?
I did, but I don't remember it.
He had the Kickstarter.
Oh yes. So I did.
Oh, did they pull it off the bike or did they have it in stock?
No, they've had one. They've had one in the bag since the beginning of the year.
Okay.
This has been planned that if he got on there, and dude, I thought that was cool too. Nice little touch of like, yo, 90s punk rock Kickstarters are back.
Yeah.
Just like, that's awesome.
Yeah, and to follow it up, Barsha was like, "Yeah, I tried getting my guys to pull the battery out." So
yes, I thought that was awesome too.
So that's some cool stuff that we need to see.
Do you want to know what else was cool? Did you see with all of them
All
with their
three with their kids?
kids and their chicks on the podium? Yep.
Yeah. You think it was awkward for Kenny and Coop?
That is.
Do we want to go there?
I don't know what that's like, man, because that would
or are they over it?
I mean, I'm sure.
I mean, when you got a kid and a family and you're married,
at this point, I'm sure
it.
they're over it. Like there isn't an awkwardness about it, but there still is an awkwardness. It's like your best friend banging your ex chick and falling in love with her. You know, like.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily they were boys. They were never buddies. But it's like.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying it's like that. It's not like your best friend actually doing it. But like, dude, it's a coworker.
Hey, my coworker married my ex.
Yeah, married my ex and had a kid with her. So yeah, that's definitely that's a weird situation. Because like, what do you do like when she comes up on the podium, Kenny? Are you just like, yo, what's up?
Yeah, like how does that go?
I
Like,
don't know, man.
Hey, Mariah, you want to bring your kid up on the podium with us?
I don't know, man. But it is weird. And it's such a changing of the times because this has been brought up time and time again on every show out there. Is like. All these dudes have kids outside of Sexton, and then
I thought that was a super cool picture.
Yeah, I did too. I thought it was cool. So,
that little section is why Tim isn't going to listen to our show.
Yeah, exactly. Here is one thing that I didn't like about last night. Somewhat, the opening ceremonies, they have changed it. So, and maybe
we're getting off track here real quick.
A bit. But it pertains to the 450 class essentially.
Did Kenny come out to Kickstart My Heart?
No, not anymore. They've changed the song now. He's not to Kickstart My Heart anymore. It's what is it? The one when I get high on speed or whatever it is. Yeah, whatever that one is there. I can't think of the name of it.
That's Kickstart My Heart.
Is it really? That's not it, is it?
When I get high on speed.
I'm terrible with music, so
I think so. Hey, I'm gonna look up the lyrics. Finish your thought.
Maybe it is. Okay, yeah. No, now that I think about it and the lyrics and stuff, yes, you're right. Anyway, okay, but when
I get high on speed, top fuel, funny cars, a drug for me. My heart, Kickstart My Heart.
Okay, cool. Then yes, he does still. Sorry, I'm terrible with music. Everybody,
Jeez.
Anyway, though, when they used to do opening ceremonies, they would start them at 6:30, right? And it was basically like national anthem, fireworks, riders start coming out, right?
Yeah.
So what they've done now is they have shortened up the rider thing. Like they've condensed it. I don't know if it's 15, 20 minutes now. So they still do the national anthem and stuff, but there is a long ass video that they have of these guys, you know, doing their dumb like dance moves and stuff like that.
Oh, I hated that.
It's I don't like it as much. And yes, they have added 250 guys. They do like the top three.
I like
or maybe
that.
It's not even top three.
It is top three.
I think top
three's
top three.
Okay, that's acceptable.
Yeah, because they did Deegan,
Hunter, Nate, and Deegan.
No, Deegan.
Jordan.
No.
Anstey.
Thank you. Jesus, I was blanking on the name there. They did Deegan, Anstey, Hunter. And all they had them do was they didn't ride out. It was
they were
like
in the crowd.
Yeah, they put them in the crowd or whatever.
How loud was it for Deegan?
It was pretty loud.
Yeah,
it was pretty loud. And I think so. What they did is, as they were doing like not the Pledge of Allegiance, the fucking national anthem and stuff, you could see them getting the ladders out and like putting them up in the thing there. And I swear, some dude ran down and was like Deegan and like patting him on the back and stuff. And then security's like, no, you gotta go, like, hey, whatever. Before they even announced him, and he didn't go real far up into the crowd. Anstey. going for it, bro. He's running up those stairs, high-fiving people like this, like whatever. And so I don't have a problem with the top 3 250 guys because anyway, you're going to start with the 250 class. Like you do the opening ceremonies, then you start with 250s. It's not 450s. Yeah. But what I don't like is they've shortened the video super short and the songs super short that they bring the guys out to.
Yeah, the guy basically has enough time just to do a wheelie down the start straight.
Yep, and then it's on to the next guy basically. So I don't like that. I wish they would do more of what they used to do where that stuff was longer. But anyway, small off topic there. Moving on here, Justin Barcia, second place. Bro, contract here. That's all I got to say.
I tweeted it out. I was like, contract Barcia's here.
Dude, he was impressive yesterday, though.
That's
all day.
That Barcia's fun to watch.
It is.
And
that track allowed him to really be Barcia because, I mean, so we sat there and watched. We looked straight down the whoops and straight down that 3-3 before. And, I mean, dude, they're hitting that 3-3, and they're just, like, way sideways, and you're like, holy shit, they're going to crash. And then they nail it, you know, and then they're coming down the whoops, and they're just all, I don't know how many times Ashley was like, oh, my God. And it's like, because guys were, like, you know, sideways.
Borderline scary to watch.
Dude, it was. But that track played right into him, and man, did he has his number.
Fast all day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So,
but it's momentum swinging though. Swinging. Giggity. From Daytona though. I think he's a podium guy in Daytona, and Rocky Mountain Fantasy guy here. I had him second. I did, and it'd be interesting to see if he carries this momentum because. God, I wish we had this Barcia all the time. And he surprisingly rode really clean.
Yeah.
Even in the heat race.
Here's the thing. Rumor mill going through the pits is that gas was... Or, not rumor mill. The feeling going through the pits is that gas was like, well, you know, this has been great. Everything's been awesome. But it's time we move on to the next thing, you know. With him, he's going to make it real tricky for that. Real tricky for them to just like, oh, see you later.
Oh, you think they're upset with the image?
No, I don't think they're upset with the image. I just think they're ready to move on to the next person. Yeah. You know, Barcia's at the end of his career, so how much are you going to milk that cow before it's done, you know? Because Barcia's not going to go forever, so now we need to move
two guys.
Not right now. So, yeah,
that'll be interesting.
It's interesting. It's going to be interesting to watch. It's kind of like Webb with KTM and the way his season's going. Like, does he leave? Does he stay? Does he leave? Does he stay? I'm not sure. We'll see. So,
Barcia's going to make that hard, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, but it is definitely a thing, and he is definitely riding good. So we'll have to see going forward here how it looks. But
I mean, at the end of that, at the end of that main, I'm like, dude, Roxon's going to be sitting in the fourth row because when's the last time Barcia had a chance to win?
100%. I mean, we were lined up for such a good thing there because Webb would Webb and him were yo-yoing hard. And I was like, oh, Webb's going to make that late race push. And then, nope, just didn't have it and had some mistakes. And, like, that cost him.
I think he rode smart, though, which we'll get into.
He did. And then you got Barcia, and Barcia put a push in and catch and then kind of fall off and then put a push in and then kind of fall off. And it was a wild race.
Oh, yeah.
It kept me on my toes there without anything really happening.
Yeah. He, even the heat race, though. Coming through both of those guys.
Oh, yeah.
Roxon's covering the line, found a way around him cleanly.
Heard on the post-race interviews, he was like, yep, got done with qualifying, sat there and told myself, you're going to win your heat race. And Mathis goes, that's all it took, huh? And he's like, yeah, so I guess I'm going to have to do that every week now. So.
Well, yeah, man, he did it. And how about that whip over the finish line?
Sick.
That was saucy.
Sick.
You've seen some of the photos of it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I would frame one of them. That one's badass with his legs sticking out.
It was good. So, third place, Cooper Webb there.
I think that's just a smart ride out of Coop.
I think so, too. And he's got the red plate now.
Yeah, red plate.
Which is dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Yep. I think he's out there. He's riding track sketchy, but he sees Sexton on the ground.
Yep.
Knows he's way back. Probably saw the crash itself. Knows that it was kind of ugly.
Yeah.
Pretty good one. And Tomac was just, again, a guy, when Tomac's not feeling it, he ain't feeling it. And
we'll get to both of them here.
I don't know. That's going to be interesting. I got my thoughts on that too. But, yeah, Coop, I think, didn't want to push it. Didn't want to mess with the Honey Badger.
I will tell you what. I don't know how much they showed on TV of him in the heat race.
Mm-hmm.
They got
How
done
was
with,
that crash?
They got done with that heat race, and I went, he's fucked. This isn't going to go well at all.
I didn't think that. But I was surprised to see him on the ground.
Him and Tomac did not look good all day. Mm-hmm. And which is crazy because going in, I thought, okay, tight track, very technical, got to get the low lines going early, web all day. And then when we got done with that heat, I went, like, we got done with qualifying, I was like, this is going to be tough. We got done with the heat, I was like, nope, this is not going to go well. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, man, Sexton could walk away with this tonight. Obviously, that didn't happen, but yeah, it was not good.
Yeah, I'm thinking Tomac 8th or something was on the pit board.
Yeah.
And, or Red Plate was on the pit board.
Yeah, something like that.
Because, I mean, that's dangerous.
Now,
dangerous.
One plus side, I will say, they were showing the different points as the race was going on the big screen at the stadium.
Oh, that's cool.
There were 2 different times I saw updates on the big screen of like, oh, if they finish like this is where the points are.
Oh, you think Webb's looking at the Jumbotron?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
No, it wasn't up there for like a long time, so probably not.
Yeah,
but I did see
hitting
it.
the ruts off the finish line and looking up and saying, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'm 1 point down."
Yeah, trust me, you weren't hitting that. So, all right, moving on. 4th place, Aaron Plessinger, and this is better.
It was a really overlooked ride, actually.
Very much so, and it's way better than I thought the day was going to go after qualifying, because in qualifying it wasn't like spectacular and he wasn't really at the top of the board, which I thought he would be because he loves this place. He's from Ohio, so it's local race, ruts, all that kind of stuff, and I was like, ooh, he's gonna be good. He's gonna be so good. And it was not as great as I thought, but to come out with a 4th,
he was just kind of silent 4th, and yeah, I'm kind of upset that I overlooked him like that because he's had a lot of success in Indy. Won his first ever race in Indy. It's the hometown crowd for him, basically. And yeah, dude, put her in 4th.
Let me tell you this: crowd was very loud for him.
Oh, I bet.
Very loud for him.
I bet.
You want to talk about opening ceremonies? Who they were the loudest for?
AP was loudest. Won it.
Yep. So
that's pretty cool, man. So yeah. Quiet night.
He is another one that's, where is he going after this year? Because his contract's also up, and he is the rumor mill. I've heard that Gas is like, well, he might be fun for the image.
Oh, I think he'd be great on Gas.
He'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But who knows going forward here. Jason Anderson, 5th place.
This right here.
Team fried.
Team fired.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
I'm telling you, dude, I think there's a lot to that.
I think it's a Kawasaki thing.
But I'm telling you, I think there's a lot to what I said.
I mean, I'm not saying that what you said is wrong, but I also think it's a Kawasaki thing.
Well, yeah, because he doesn't have that shield. He doesn't have
that shield, and Kawasaki, we know how they are. I will preach this every single weekend from now to the end of the series. It's just not the right fit for him. It was last year because everything was cool and new and, whatever, and it went well. As soon as things start going sideways and expectations are on him, it's not great. It's not great. I'm telling you, I would highly not be surprised, and I'm saying a lot of silly season stuff here, which is ruining my silly season show. I would be not very surprised if he does not ride next year and then comes back for Triumph in 2025.
I don't think he sits a year out.
Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all. He's Jason Anderson. He sat a year out already.
I mean, on a 250F.
So?
You can't do that and ride at that level.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I don't know.
My shock level would be very low if that happens. Maybe not.
He's contracted for outdoors, though, right?
Right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he can find a way to bail and go do World.
He'll bail. I don't know about going to do World, but he'll bail.
If he sits out a year, he'll go do World.
Yeah, that could be a thing. He could go do World next year. That would be interesting. Rick Ware Racing, Jason Anderson.
Dude, just watch Rick Ware Racing just become a World Supercross dynasty.
That'd be awesome. It'd be awesome. So he is a very surprising with how off he is this year, though.
Yeah, I think it has a little bit to do with like hard pack stuff. So he really excels on hard pack. We haven't had a lot of hard pack yet.
What's your percentage he gets a win before the end of the year still?
I think he squeaks one out, which we'll talk to about it at the end of the show, but I think he'll be good in Detroit. A little drier.
Depends how the dirt is.
Yeah.
Also, just a little inside info. Lime in the dirt this weekend.
At Detroit?
At Indy.
Yeah, I didn't do shit.
I found out some of the things to look for as to be able to tell if there's lime in the dirt. So, lime in the dirt.
So how'd that go?
I mean, it's fine. The person I was talking to about it, as we talked about, the problem was the water
in the lime,
and the lime getting together. When you have an indoor stadium like this and there's no water splashing, it doesn't fucking matter. So, all right, moving on. Adam Cianciarulo 6th. This was a quietly good ride after coming back from 2 weeks off.
I think that's phenomenal.
He was pumped.
He was
pumped. Oh yeah, yeah, he was pumped. And dude, good starts right up front. I mean, that's a really, really good ride.
That's a great confidence booster.
Especially like I said, coming back after 2 weeks off, and he's made it very clear that he just re-aggravated the wrist, and he rode press at where were we at 2 weeks ago?
The wrist brace was back.
Yeah, but when he re-aggravated it, he rode press 2 weeks ago and didn't feel safe riding, and that was his deal. So, yeah, I don't know. This was a quiet, good ride. I couldn't even told you where he finished last night. I just know he was running up front at the beginning. I was dialed in.
He didn't fade. That's the thing. Usually he starts kind of fading, and
there were two battles I was dialed in on last night. Number one was the front battle, as everyone was.
Tomac-Craig battle?
Yeah, no. No, I did see that like for a couple of corners.
The Hill Brothers battle?
I was watching Harlan, Morans, and Norin battle to the death for like 16th place.
They were going at it, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty good. So, but anyway, good ride on Adam Cianciarulo there.
He is also the topic of my tinfoil hat.
Oh, boy. Christian Craig, 7th.
Late race pass on the
Late race pass on Tomac, dude.
Wow, who could have wrote that?
After Tomac didn't he tuck the front or something? He crashed.
No, somebody weeded it in front of him and about hit him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and he like had to...
Was it Morant?
He like had to stop.
Wasn't Kev.
No, Kev didn't weed.
Who was it? It was, I don't know, whoever it was, but Tomac about ran him over.
Yeah. Yeah, so... No, Tomac did go down, too. He slid out or something.
The replay I saw, he didn't.
He slid out or something, because I remember in the stadium of... was it Lurch? No. Somebody was like, Tomac's down! Oh. And I looked up, and he was getting up, so he did go down at some point. Nobody cares when you're not running up front, bro.
Yeah.
Craig tucks the front all the time, probably.
Yeah.
No one sees it, but big Christian Craig fans here. Was very sad, was hoping to run into Paige yesterday and talk to her a little bit more. Didn't happen. So, anyway, he came out with this, I think he had Jagger on the bike with him for opening ceremonies.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Stuff like that's cool.
All right.
Is Eli, it still the bike?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. Because I watched him through the whoops a few times yesterday. Wasn't great. So, all right. Eli Tomac, 8th. He decided to not completely throw the title away last night.
Yeah. So here's my thing.
But he looked like trash all day, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, when he ain't feeling it, he
ain't feeling it at this point.
But here's the thing. He's 1 point down. How many weirdo rides has he had like this year? Like 3?
Yeah.
And he's 1 point down.
Yep.
So, I don't know. It's going to be real interesting because Webb, I think, is picking up the steam.
Webb is. Yep.
But I think Tomac's going to be really good as we start getting back toward this hard pack stuff.
The way it's going right now with him and with the front 3 here, it's slowly becoming the front 2.
Oh yeah,
and we'll get to the third one here in just a second. But again, this is really weird to see him not feel it and back it down and just put the laps in. But I'm telling you, he did not look good yesterday at all. I watched him on and off all day, and it was weird. It's weird to see. You just don't see it with Tomac. Yeah. So, oh man, your boy Justin Hill, 9th place. Great ride for him.
Come on, where's the bet?
Great ride.
Dug him at $20.
There was a few. Absolutely not. No. I'm not in that. I'm not in that pool.
He's sneaking in the top 10.
That's
qualifying better too.
He was challenging Tomac for a second too.
Well, look, dude, he He's still working on figuring out the bike and stuff too, and technically privateer team.
Yeah,
kind of cool.
Tedder,
baby.
Team Tedder. Got some parts. They're good to go.
Team Tedder and Justin Hill.
Here we go. Chase Sexton, 10th place.
Chase Rexton.
Yes, good call, dude. So this is now all completely in his head. He's completely mind effed, and I don't know how you break him out of this. He's got to put it together and get a win. He's got to put it together and put 2 together in a row to get out of this. Otherwise, yeah, this is bad.
Yeah, and that is the thing, right? That's what we keep saying. People are even beating us up in the comments about it.
We'll get to that.
How many more times are we gonna say?
Yep.
If he gets it together,
it's just like last night's mistake. Like, what are you doing going through that rut, dude?
Yeah, 'cause I watched it too. He went and he cut Webb off and hit that rut, and it jarred him. And the next lap he hits it and goes to Indonesia.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like there were 2 ruts on the inside there, or you could go outside, and it was better. And the inside rut was fine. The one he went in was super deep that everyone was hitting for the first 5 laps. And yeah, dude, that was just it was terrible.
I don't know if it's something you got to think about when you're riding too. But did it hit the shifter and put it into false neutral?
That could be.
I think that's what happened.
That could be
it was so
too.
deep.
Now here's the thing too. It is funny with how many times we've seen those Alpine Star helmets lose their visors and his gets stuck on him. I mean, did they not show that on TV?
I saw him throw it down or something.
Oh no, he stood there for a couple minutes because I'm like, what's he doing? And he's doing this, and I'm like, what is he doing? He couldn't get the visor off. It had like wedged itself down like this, and it took him a second to get it off.
No way.
Yeah, and then he gets it off and throws it down and gets back on the bike, and he was slow when he got back on the bike there, like not slow and wobbly like, oh man, he should not have been on the bike, because I don't want anybody to think that.
Yeah.
But he definitely
like he took a knee to the bar or something.
Yeah, he was cautious there for the first little while. And I watched and I was like, oh, this is gonna be real bad. And then he started picking back up, and I was kind of keeping an eye on it, like where he was on the
thing
board.
is he didn't get back up in charge.
No.
He just kind of was like, all right, well, piss this one away.
It was funny though, because he had a line going down the right side of the whoops that was fast, skimming, that nobody else had. Like, I don't know why nobody else was going there, but he went to the right side of that main and was skimming. So I don't know.
The saga continues.
Like I said, and we'll say it again and again and again. But I'm gonna press the panic button there. But if he does put 2 together, I think he'll break this mental stranglehold he has on himself. But right now, I really think it's mental.
Yeah, well, the other thing I thought was interesting from Race Day Live, they had 7 Deuce Deuce on there, and 7 Deuce Deuce was like,
man, dude.
Yeah, they did something to make that bike a little more rigid. They got a special part on it or something. And I'm sitting there scratching my head. I'm like, he wants this bike more rigid, but the rumor of him going to KTM, that's not a rigid bike.
No.
That might not be good if that's true.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I was hoping to run into him after the race, but we went by the Honda trucks on the way out, and nobody was there.
What were you gonna say to him?
I don't know, but I was gonna walk up and talk to him because I know he'll talk to anybody after the race. So
maybe not after that race.
I don't know, man. He's been doing a lot of media. He's doing all the right things still with the media, but man, dude, it is
gotta be hard.
It has to be. So, all right. So Josh Hill, 11th there.
Yeah,
that's cool. Dean Wilson hit the deck a couple of times last night.
Yeah,
12th.
Usually he's a shoe-in on my fantasy team, and when I seen him not qualify at all in the second practice, I was like,
yeah,
maybe he caught his knee in a rut or something.
Yeah, who knows? Shane Sins is 13th.
Hey,
Chiz comes back off the couch this week for 4. Did you see he won the fantasy overall last week?
Chiz.
Yeah, or won the Industry Idiots. Yeah,
Chiz.
With Chiz.
Yeah, he got the Colt Nichols jersey.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And dude, for being beat up, he just comes back and gets a what? 16th. 14th? What place did he get? 14th?
Yeah, 14th. Yeah. Yeah, because at one point I looked who was ahead of Kev because I was keeping an eye on him, and I was like, okay, Norin, and then because he was battling with Norin, and then it was Chiz, and then I'm looking, I'm like, dude, Chiz is straight away and a half ahead. Like, what the hell? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, so Freddie gets 15th, Kev gets 16th, and they were battling like as they're getting lapped, and I'm like, oh, please don't get in the way too bad. Please don't get in the way too bad. You know, like that's just a terrible feeling for these guys. And him and Freddie were battling, and then all of a sudden, and Harlan was a little bit ahead of him, and then all of a sudden I see Harlan behind him, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? I guess Harlan went down. Yeah. And Kev just couldn't quite get Freddie. And I let him know that he should have got Freddie.
I mean, Freddie's a little more of an outdoor guy.
Yeah.
And stuff, but people were probably pretty shook with their fantasy teams.
Well, dude, super awesome how he didn't qualify last week.
When you picked him?
Yup.
I didn't pick him this week. I'm like, dude, I just can't do it.
My 450 team was pretty sendy. I had 3 double-digit handicap guys, but they all made it in.
So was that fat 0 on your 250
Shut up.
team.
We'll get to him. But Kev's still pretty pumped on a 16th place finish there.
That's career best?
No. He was 14th or something a couple weeks ago or maybe last year. He's had a 14th.
Oh, okay.
Here, I can check. Hold on a second here. Let's see here.
You're right.
Oh, he's 14th at Houston, dude.
Oh.
But still a good finish. Pumped, 7 points. He's battling with Starling for 20th in points here for that guaranteed slot into the SMX races.
But that's outdoor too, right? They got to be top 20 outdoor. And
Starling's not going outdoors.
Neither's Kev.
Depends.
Who's on 21st?
I don't know.
So
I haven't looked at real Look, dude, we're only through 10 rounds here. I'm not going there, but they are thinking of that. I guess him and Starling are thinking of that. So, Starling 17th.
Qualified really well. He's still pretty beat up from what I understand, and he didn't look pumped sitting over there after the main. So take that for what it's worth. I can go over and talk to him, but he did not look pumped. Was he staring at Kev?
No. He was just sitting over there, just kind of defeated looking. Yeah. You know, it wasn't great. But he was pitted like way in the back of the room by himself. It was super weird. Grant Harlan, like we said, had a tip over 18th. Josh Cartwright made it in the main, 19th. Cade Clayson got in, 20th. Joanne Cross.
Clayson crashed a couple times because he was on my team and really
shit the bed for you?
I mean, he was a 12.
I'm not going to say anything because I'm having a rough season.
Oh.
This is a building year for us
how
here.
the turns have tabled.
I can't even explain. That right there is as rough as my season's going. Is words for you.
No, I said that on purpose.
It's not going great right
now.
How
the turns have tabled.
Whatever. Anyway, and Carnell and Carne Asada, 22nd.
Yeah, just had to wait for everybody to get hurt before he could get in there.
I don't know about that, but
yeah. You tell me Colt Nichols and Ferrandis come back, he's in the main.
Yeah, Ferrandis wasn't there yesterday either. Interesting.
To park it. I hope they park him.
Neither was Colt Nichols, right?
Right.
Interesting. So
bring those two back. Carnell is out.
Probably yes. So, all right. Anything
How
else?
about the blue rims with John Cross?
Oh, I was not a fan of those. Diffie was down there helping him rebuild his bike after the night too. They were like the last ones in there when we left. Like we were like the second to last ones in there, and they were like the last ones. So, anything else 450 wise here?
No, dude, just hell of a night. Super pumped for Kenny.
That was a good race. The 250 is not as exciting, but this was a good one.
Yeah, super pumped to have good racing.
Yeah. Now we've got another guy on the board that has 1, so now we're up to 4.
Kenny's locked in for SMX, so does he go into...
He's got options.
Oh, hang on. That means I'm going to add some more stuff to my rant here.
All right. Well, all right. So 450 race recap there, brought to you by our friends at Gutterworks. Always well hung, like Justin Barsha.